No.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to accidentalmuslims.com. Today we have with us Tasneem Khan. Lots of titles, we'll get into it. And Khalil behind the phone, her husband Khalil also in the audience. And Amir Aliko taking pictures over here. There we go. Okay, so we're going to get right into it.
Okay.
Tell us who is Tasneem Khan?
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I'm Tasneem Khan. I used to be Tasneem Amir. I'm now Tasneem Khan. I am, first of all, I'm a 35-year-old Muslim woman. I'm a mother of 3. I am a daughter, a wife. I am a qualified pharmacist, but I didn't enjoy pharmacy much, so I've gone into training. So I am a pharmacist assistant trainer. So I train pharmacist assistants. I lecture third-year pharmacy students. I'm now the owner of Colab Training Solutions. So I consider myself an entrepreneur as well, and I'm a student.
Okay, you see that's quite it's quite a lot. So just to note, we are actually at Colab Training Solutions at the moment. We are at the facility. So we'll do like a small tour later so you can actually have an idea of what it is about. In Woodstock. Yes. Okay, so while you were talking, the first question that actually came to mind is how do you, because there's all these various things that you do, and how do you balance between all of these things?
So my day starts very early, depending on what time it is, but I stay up early. I have my coffee in peace before I have to wake everybody up. So we, a team, my husband and I, will get the kids up, we get them ready for school, we do the school rush, he does half of the drop off, I do the other, and then I come to work. And my work is training, so I train for about till 1 o'clock, 1:30, and then I do some admin work, and then I rush off to do school runs. So once it comes to 2:30, I leave. I get the kids by 3 o'clock, we go home, it's snack time, it's homework, it's projects and assignments and studying for tests. And then it's cooking as well, so when my husband comes home, we eat. And then it's bath time, and then it's bedtime, and then when the kids are sleeping, the laptop comes out again and we're preparing for tomorrow. So that's a basic day in my life. Yes.
Okay. So what's the number one thing that actually helps you, like if you could tell anyone, what's the number one thing that helps you strike the balance between all of those things and actually, strive for excellence in everything that you do?
So the reason why I actually opened up my own company is because I wanted to be my own boss. I didn't want a boss checking the time I come in, checking the time I leave. I did have that before, and I would come home and there were actually times where I'll sit there and I would cry. Because I don't know, my children are nagging and they want me. I know that I still need to make salah for the day because I just came home from work and I need to cook, and that to me I couldn't handle. And when I was pregnant with my last child, my third baby, I said, I think enough is enough. So the reason why I have this is to have the flexibility. I do whatever I need to do, but only in the hours that the kids are at work, and that is what makes me be able to do everything. Because as much as I want my own business to succeed, I also want to be there for my kids, and that's exactly why I did it the way I did. So that is what motivates me, and that's what keeps me going, knowing that I've got those 5 hours from the time I get them from school till they go to sleep to be able to do what I need to do. So I do have a to-do list.
Yes.
I tick it off every single day. I know in the morning when I wake up, this is what I need to do today. I even go to bed, get into bed with my diary, making notes of this is what I need to do tomorrow, and I tick it off. So that is the way I do structure. I do voice notes as well. Okay. So that's when I'm driving, I remember something and I can't write it down, so I do voice notes so that I can remember later this is what I need to do.
Okay, interesting. So by profession, you're a pharmacist.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about like younger Tasneem and growing up, and then how it led you to study pharmacy, but then kind of change your mind.
Okay, so I grew up in a single parent home. When I was 5, my parents got divorced, and I stayed with my mom for 10 years. It was just her and I, because I'm my only child. But my mother, she worked 2 jobs. She studied part-time to get a better education, to have better jobs, to give me the opportunities. And I saw her work and I thought, she's doing all this for me. Like, at first I didn't understand she was doing this all for me. I'm like, she's working all the time. But when I was older, I realized that she did it so that I wouldn't feel that I am lacking anything. I went to good schools and she did this for me. She persevered. I don't know, she was just always so motivated. And when I was 15, almost 15, she said, Tasneem, I think we have to look at, we say we because it was still us, we getting married now. So I said, but why? I was like, no, why do you need to do this? Because I was happy and I didn't see that we were lacking anything. And she said, no, the responsibilities, you're in high school now, you're going to go to university soon. And she can't take the responsibilities on her own. And, we need someone to look after us. So I was like, okay, it's going to make her happy. And that was the best decision because for this interview, I say my stepfather, but he's so much more than just a stepfather, he's a father. I don't know, I can't even explain, but he's so good to us. They're actually married for 21 years this year, alhamdulillah. So he is my father, he's the grandfather to my kids, he's my support structure, he's there for guidance, he's a mentor, and when people see us, because he's got 2 kids, so we're now one big family, but when they see us, they don't know we are a blended family. Yes. People see us, and we have this private joke because I'd say, oh, this is my brother and this is my sister, and people say, oh, I can see the resemblance, and we're like, how even? But it's just a private joke that we have. But alhamdulillah, yes, that is me growing up and where I am today, and I feel that my mother, being the strong woman that she was, got me to where I am now. So she didn't say it in so many words, but I got that, we need to be independent. Yes, we can plan and we get married, but Allah has different plans for us. We don't know what's going to be around the corner, so we need to be prepared, basically, and that's where I am.
Okay. So then what? So you studied pharmacy and then...
How do I end up here?
Yes, and then... so you did practice for a bit?
Yes, so I finished 2006, I did my pharmacy, I finished it, it was my final year. I did my internship and I did my community service, and I was thinking to myself, is this pharmacy? I studied 4 years and is this where I'm at? Yeah. And I locumed a bit, I worked at Colab, but I wasn't happy. So I found that I'm a person, I like deadlines and I like adrenaline, I like projects, and being in a dispensary, I didn't get that. So I worked for a big organization, Clicks, actually I worked for Clicks for 6 years, and I worked in the pharmacy and I looked for other opportunities, and then a friend of mine was working at UWC. This is 2010, this was before I had my first daughter. And she said, we're looking for someone to help us with lecturing. And I was like, yes, I'd love to do that, because I was exploring and I needed to know where I find myself. And I loved the training. I loved being interactive with the students. And at that same time, in the same year, Clicks opened up an academy. And I applied for the position. So it's exactly what I do now. It's the training of the pharmacy assistants. They train the assistants in their stores, in their pharmacies. And I stayed there for 6 years. And then once I was pregnant with my 3rd baby, I said, corporate, it's hard now and it's long hours, and I wasn't finding the balance. Okay, so I left and I resigned, not knowing what I'm going to do. I think it was the hormones, but I just left. And alhamdulillah, after 2-3 months, just after Wes was born, another company contacted me, and they said, we're not based in Cape Town, we're based in Pretoria, but we do the same thing. So this was the beginning of 2017. We trained pharmacy assistants. And it was nice for me because I could work from home. I only needed to find a venue when I needed to do the classes. But the classes became bigger and I needed more and more venues, and it was so difficult finding a venue that was halal, finding a venue that was within our budget, that was accessible for the learners, because they have a stipend. So they have a small amount for traveling, so they needed to come with buses and taxis and trains. And the venues that I found was not central enough for them. So I took all these learnings over the past 3 years and I said, you know what, I'm going to open my own venue. Okay, so it's easy.
It's amazing.
There is a train station that's a 3-minute walk. The buses and taxis stop on the main road, and there's a My City bus stop right here. And I do my own catering, I get it all in. So I basically wanted a one-stop shop kind of thing. So we have a venue and you get everything here. So this is how I got to Colab Training Solutions. So I basically use one room every day for my training, and then the other room is available for any companies that want to use it.
Okay. So tell us about the space. I don't know if you want to go down.
Yeah, we can do it now.
Okay. So about the space and what you actually do offer through with Colab Training Solutions.
Okay. So you get the venue, you get the classroom with the audio visual, so the screen and the projector. We have air conditioning now. We didn't have at the beginning, but we were boiling, so we needed to get that. We have Wi-Fi. We have catering if they need it. So we have a dry hire for people that just want the venue and not in a catering. But for the bigger companies, they have a whole day of training. So they want the welcome tea, the mid-morning tea, the lunch, and the afternoon tea. So we provide all that. We obviously have different structures, different packages. We also have, so I have the 2 rooms, the big one and the small one. We also have desk space. So I have desk rentals. So people sometimes they work from home, but they just need one day to do the admin, or they're living with people, so they can't really work at home, or they have kids, so they just come out, so they feel that they're in an office environment. They do their work, they do the admin. They can print, they can have the tea and coffee, they have Wi-Fi, and if they stay, like maybe they have a month contract with us, my receptionist can do reception facilities or things for them. Yeah, facilities is the right word for them.
So let's go walk around.
Okay. Yeah,
So this is our desk space that we rent out. Okay, so you get a desk and a chair, you bring your own laptop, you get the Wi-Fi password. This is our smaller room. So this one seats about 24 as is, but we can move it around to the way you want it, U shape or without the tables for cinema style. It's got the projector and it's got the screen.
So this can be used for like classroom.
Yes.
Okay.
And then this is the kitchen area, so we call it the canteen or the reception area, but we actually have people that prefer this area when they have private functions. Okay. So we move everything out here and then we set the tables and chairs up here. And it's a bigger space because then you can get people seated here and people seated here and have like a stage over here when people can see it from both sides. Yeah, so we do that. We've got the urn and the tea and coffee facilities, and the red table over there is where we sit up for the patron. So it's like a buffet style. Yeah.
Cool.
And then my receptionist, she sits over here, so she welcomes everybody.
And printing facilities.
Oh, and printing facilities. Scanning and printing. And then that room, if we have a look at that room. This is the bigger room. So as is, it's about 36, but if we move it around, we can get 20 seated in a round table and we get 3 round tables in a space.
Okay,
So that's 16, yeah.
cool.
Okay, so what's the, like, is it time that it's open, the venue?
So we are open normal business hours, so 8 to 5. I do have someone that has requested for 1 month. She's going to offer a night school. So every Tuesday and Thursday she's going to be here from 5 till 9, so that is an option. And then I didn't expect it, but I found myself in a space where weekends we have lots of workshops. And if you look on Instagram, you'll see it's lots of women-owned businesses that want to upskill people. So they actually upskill other ladies, and they have like digital marketing workshops. They have we have makeup workshops. We have, what else did we have recently? We have a beading workshops coming up. So anybody that has a skill that wants to offer it on. We even had someone doing wanting to do pattern making workshop. Yeah. So I didn't expect it, but people see me on Instagram and lots of ladies like, oh, I like your space, can we do this?
Yeah.
So I do a sort of collaboration with them. They bring their part and I bring my part, and the ladies come, and everyone that comes here, they love the space. And someone sees it and then they weren't planning on it, but they said, oh, we love your space, can I do a yoga workshop? Then we just move all the tables and things out. So,
And how's the parking?
so weekends and after hours, there isn't a problem with the parking. In the weekdays, you need to come early. So there is street parking available, and when people have workshops here, and I always say come from 7:30, and there is like security on every corner, so that isn't a problem. They will actually help you find a parking. But the building opposite, there's actually a paid parking lot, so if people don't mind paying, they can go around. It's the yellow and black building, so they go around there and they pay parking. And yeah, the other day I had like, in the one room we had 15 HR managers from a company, and the other room we had about 15 nurses, and they had no problem finding parking in the morning, so they just need to come early.
And details, how do people get hold of you, contact you?
So I have a website. It's www.colabtraining.co.za, and then we have a booking form on the website, so that goes directly to my email, and then I will reply.
And then if you want to see pictures and stuff, there is an Instagram page as
and
well.
on the website there's pictures as well.
Okay, cool. So doing this and moving from what you were doing to here, what would you say has been like the biggest success for you in all of this?
So at the beginning, after 2 or 3 months, I was like, oh, did I do the right thing? Because it was quite slow. And but that's expected of any new business. People need to get to know you and things. But what I love about the place is that everyone comes in and uses the place. They actually put it on Instagram. You know, when you come to this venue, you get the service. Okay, so you get us. We're part of the package. We'll be there. So someone actually said when we use Colab Training Solution, we get hot as well.
Yes.
Okay, so you get part of us. We're there. We at your service. You get good service. I have a very good assistant that helps as well. And seeing those messages and those reviews, that it makes you feel good, like you're doing something right. Okay, it is moving, and the fact that people are coming back. So I had someone that used for every Saturday last month, and she actually asked, "Do you have a day available for next month?" So people coming back means that we're doing something right.
And as a new businesswoman, yes, that is your title. What has been the greatest challenge?
So at the beginning, you don't have history, so you don't have experience of being this businesswoman. And when you contact the people, they want to see history. They want to see, did you have an event like this before? Did you? And I don't have it, but I never turn business down. So I always say, but we can do it for you. Okay, come in and let's chat. It's very hard to try to persuade people that you can do it, especially the bigger companies, because they want to see that you can do it.
Yeah.
So that's why I take pictures of everything that I do now, so that I have proof of it. I put it on Instagram, and they can see it. Like I said, we have done it, or we are willing to do it, even though we haven't done it. So yes, it is hard trying to convince people that you can do it. But so April next month will be 1 year. It's getting there, alhamdulillah. It's moving forward. Yes.
Any questions? Yes.
I don't know if you covered this already, but so apart from being your own boss and the flexibility,
It's really in your face.
what else does offering this service? What else does it give you?
Satisfaction. So like I said, I didn't plan it, but on the weekends now we have so many women coming to do workshops, and to be part of that is such a nice thing. So women empowerment. We've had lots of women empowerment workshops, and it is so nice. I have so many ladies coming and ask me questions that I don't even have answers to, but I feel that they trust me enough to come and ask me, how do I do this? Do you know how to do a business plan? I'm opening a business, but I have no idea what to do. So I'm almost like, I don't know what the word is, but a go-to person. And I'm not getting anything from answering the questions, but knowing that you can answer them and helping them, it's yeah, it's great satisfaction.
And what had a question I remember my friend. Can you not do that? There was a question I also had about business, but now I'm going to have a question.
Do you have any mentors? You said you.
My parents,
Yeah.
definitely, they're both business orientated. They're both entrepreneurs, alhamdulillah. They're both doing really well, and they are my go-to people. So they'll tell me that I'm there every day, but there's once a week or twice a week, 5 o'clock, when they come home, the tea needs to be brewing. So we'll sit down with our tea and our biscuits, and we'll talk about what we did for the week, how business was, and any question that I have with a tough client, or I don't know what to say to these people. I've received an email, what do I say? They are the people that I go to, always. To one.
How easy was it to start this? How easy was it to transition from not being your own boss to being your own boss?
So before this, I was working alone for three years. So I did have someone that I need to report to, but that person's in Pretoria. So I was always alone. It's very lonely. Even opening up this business, it's lonely because you don't have someone to bounce ideas off. When you're working for someone or with people, you can go there like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? But it is a very lonely journey. So when I started doing workshops where women came, there were so many women that say they're in the same thing. They don't know what to do, how to go about. So it is difficult. It is lonely. At times you think, did I do the right thing? But just persevere. Yeah.
I remember my question. So, if for other, I'll say people, but I think more young females who maybe also find themselves in a situation where they're doing one thing, but they actually want to do something else. What to do?
So I tell my learners every day, my pharmacy assistants, when I see them in 5 years' time, I don't want them to be at the same spot where they are now. Okay? What I like about the youth, and I work with them all the time, is that there's so many opportunities for them. They don't always see it, so they need someone to open their eyes and say, as a pharmacy assistant, because they sometimes feel, I'm an assistant, like I'm a pharmacy assistant, the pharmacists do this and I just do this. But there's so many opportunities also, even just as a pharmacy assistant for them to do. So with the youth, there's so much for them to do, so many opportunities, but I feel that they don't see the opportunities, or they don't see it as an opportunity. So yeah, that is something that I would like to unfold a bit more with them, different opportunities out there for them.
And what are the minimum requirements to become a
Pharmacy assistant?
Yeah.
So you need to be working in a pharmacy. You can't do the course and then work in the pharmacy. Part of the course is that you're working in the pharmacy. You need grade 10 and a pass in maths and a pass in English. That's it. But they need to have a job in a pharmacy already. And the pharmacy it's lots of red tape. The pharmacy needs to be registered as a training site, and a pharmacist needs to be registered as a tutor. And when that's in place, they can come forward.
Okay.
So I'm gonna. Do you have another question?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The minute this thing moves away, then I think I can ask you my question. So grade 10, right? And all of those requirements of the pharmacist. So, I mean, I haven't heard of someone with grade 10 getting a job. I mean, how realistic are these requirements?
So a requirement, yes, there's lots of people. So what happens in pharmacies now, especially old pharmacies, they have people working in their front shops, like cashiers, and they've been working there for 10 years, 20 years. They can tell you everything they need to know about the pharmacy, but they haven't actually done the qualification. So people say, okay, you know what, I'm going to take the lady from the front shop and put them on the course, and then she can come and work in the dispensary. And those people, they haven't finished school. Okay, so they stopped at grade 10. As long as she can prove that she's done grade 10 and that she's got a pass for maths and English, she can apply. Okay.
And tell us a little about the lecturing. I don't know where that was.
So I started this year. So I did in 2010 they were looking for someone to help, and I helped out for a semester, and that's when I think the training bug bit me. I was very happy there, but because I don't have my masters, and because I can't be permanent, so they used me for semesters. So one of the professors resigned or retired this year, and they were looking for someone to help. So I am helping with third year. So every Monday afternoon from 2 o'clock till 4:30, and Thursday mornings. So I had to shift my schedule around a bit so that I could fit this in, because I didn't want to say no to being able to lecture at UWC. But it is so different because my pharmacy assistant courses are like 20 people, and my third year pharmacy students are 110.
Yeah.
So you stand there and you see all those eyes on you. But yeah, it's very similar. As what I'm lecturing is pharmacy practice, so it's like communication and those kind of things, and it's very similar to what I train the pharmacy assistants on. So yeah, it's quite interesting.
So what's next for Tasneem?
For me. So I want to first get very, very busy here, inshallah. So I want to be booked out, and then I want to go have a second branch in the northern suburbs, because lots of people ask, don't you have venues in the northern suburbs? And lots of companies are in the northern suburbs, and when they have to do training, they don't want to come into town because of traffic and all those things. So inshallah, another branch in the northern suburbs, but I believe in baby steps. So baby steps first. We need to get fully booked up here, and then we'll think about extending.
And is there anything else about Colab? Because I want to ask you something else. So, because you're a mom of 3 as well.
Yeah.
How were you always like available for your kids, and how and if again for young moms, I think, who are maybe struggling to do it all.
Okay.
What
So
advice?
I have to mention that I have a very, very good support system. Husband over there, and and my parents. So if there are days where I'm running late, I can phone my mommy and I say, please can you fetch the girls or the kids for me. So very, very good parents, very supportive parents, very supportive husband. I mean, if he can say, I will not go to play cricket on Saturday because you have an event, then you know that you made the right decision. So yes, so very, very supportive. So you'll know we've been married for 11 years, and before I opened Colab, I needed something else. I was very restless, and I tried different things, and he was always there to support me, even though he'd say, you're doing so many different things. I didn't find what I wanted. Okay, so it was always changing, but he was always there to support me, as well as my parents. They were always there to support me. But now I think alhamdulillah, I'm content. I've found what I'm looking for. Yeah, so
Cool.
good support system.
Can we do a lightning round?
Yeah.
What are we doing now?
It's the lightning round. So basically, it is a set of questions, and you're gonna just answer with it's not hectic questions at all, and you're gonna answer with the first thing that comes to your mind.
Coronavirus is. Joking.
That's not a question. Okay, so it's just 7 different questions. Okay, so ready?
Mm-hmm.
Number 1 is Allah is.
He's in everything that I do, but the name that I always think of is Al-Fatah, the opener, because it's opened many opportunities for me. Yeah, so Al-Fatah.
Love is.
My family, yes. And we're trying to get the kids all in order with preparing them for if ever we're not around. So we have this thing where we like to make salah together, and when we stand there, it's like, I'm doing something right. My children are making salah with me. So I don't know if you ever felt that feeling that they say your heart is like happy, it's like shaking, it's like, well, that's my family. That's me and my
The world needs.
peace. I think we all know that. We need peace in this world.
Happiness is.
I also say my family. Yeah.
So,
Also, sorry.
no, that's fine.
So all my kids are they're age 9, 6, and 3, and they're at Muslim school. So when I hear them walking around and they're reciting or they're singing a nasheed or even my 3-year-old, he'll go around the house saying he's making salah. That is happiness for me.
Success is?
So for me, you will know that success for me is building my business, but also being a mother for my kids. So the fact that I can do both is, yeah.
Being a Muslim to you means?
So when I do things, I always think, okay, Allah's always there in my mind. So even when I'm driving to work and I hoot at someone because they're driving very slowly, I'll get angry and I'll think Tasneem, would Allah be happy with it? Or when I dress and I stand in the mirror and I'm like, do I look presentable today? Is everything, like it's supposed to be? Is Allah happy with that? So that is how I get through my days.
Cool. And the last one is leadership is?
Leadership is showing someone the way, not telling them which way to go. So showing the way, setting an example, molding them to be there as well in the leadership position.
Okay.
Do you do the training yourself or do you have trainers?
So the pharmacy assistant training I do myself. So you'll see everywhere, every room, there's a pile of portfolios. So I do the training myself and I do the assessments myself and I do moderation for other companies as well. I do assessments for other companies as well. But for the pharmacy assistants, I train myself. But for the other rooms, companies come with their own trainers and their own delegates and they do their training.
How long is this course?
So it's a 2-year course, it's a 2-level course. So it's a learner basic course, which is 12 months, and a learner post basic course, which is 12 months, and then they're a qualified pharmacist
And it's
assistant.
full time?
No, they only do like 2 to 3 modules a month, but I have 4 groups. So every week I have a group, so most of my weeks are full just with that. Yeah. So it's 2 to 3 modules a month, 2 to 3 days a month, but then they're working.
2 to 3 days a month.
Yes, so they come 1, 2, 3, and then they go, and in that month they need to complete their portfolio in their workplace, and they come back, hand in their portfolio, and do a test, and we do the next module.
Okay.
Any questions? Hello, bye. Any questions? Okay. Okay, so just as the final message to everyone, what was your last words ever? And you were like, this is, they usually do it very dramatically. So if you're about to die.
So before that, do you have like a favorite Quranic verse or story?
Oh, so every day when my children drive me insane, or when I have a client or something goes wrong, I always say, Tasneem, with difficulty comes ease. So I know, and for example, a true example of that was last week I had one of the clients cancel for next week because she didn't have enough numbers. She was going to have about 10 people in the class and she only ended up with 5, and she says, I can't do a class with 5. So she canceled, and obviously you feel disappointed, and now I just sat there and I said, you know what, with difficulties, and today I got a phone call for the same week for 25 people. So I know, I feel like, okay, maybe Allah didn't want that for me, but there's better out there, so Alhamdulillah, that's next week.
Okay, so today you're gonna die.
There we go. You do what you do.
So today's your last day. Right?
Okay,
So
what am I doing?
what advice would you give
What
us?
would be your last words then?
Can I have 2 last words? 2
Yeah.
sentences?
Yeah.
So the first one is don't give up, okay? Persevere. So, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen even maybe in a few months. But you need to persevere and be consistent. You will get there. Don't be scared of hard work because you really, really need to work hard. That's the one thing. The other one is don't underestimate the power of dua. Okay, so I've seen in this year I've been making so much dua for many different things, and I can see it may not happen now and it may not happen today, but maybe in a year's time your duas will be answered. But I can see duas that I've made that have been answered. So don't underestimate.
Awesome.
Mine's not on me.
Oh.
So, no. I said not on me.
Oh.
Shukran so much for your time. And all the success for your future endeavors. And may Colab just grow into many, many more branches,
Sure.
inshallah.
Inshallah. Ameen.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Did you ask why Colab?
Okay, ask the question.
So why the name Colab?
So collab, exactly for that, short for collaboration. So that's exactly what I want to do. I wanted to offer the venue. So people come with their trainers, with their people, and we basically do a collab. Okay, I'm the venue, and you bring your own trainers, and we collaborate that way. But that was one answer. The other one was as in a lab, as in I thought of more like the pharmacy, chemistry kind of thing, a lab. So I just made collab. Okay. Yeah. But I do have a business bio. So if people email me or ask me for the rates via the email or via the website, I will just send it to them.
And are there bursaries to come for the schools?
So there are bursaries, but it comes from the head office, the company that does it.
For example, Clicks.
Yeah, but Clicks, they do their own. So they have their own academy.
Okay.
So this one is private academy, and there are like sometimes the seaters, like HW seater and those kind of things, they will say we have space for 30 people or things like that, and then they will speak to the pharmacies, and pharmacies will send their people.
What are
it's
you
not
most grateful for?
so much. Grateful for opportunities that I've had, grateful that the Almighty has allowed me, or allowed my parents, or have the capability to send me to study. Grateful for the support of my parents, grateful for the support of my husband, and grateful for my 3 gifts that are waiting for me, my 3 kids. Okay.